Okay, year 9. So the next video we're going to focus on, or the next programming skill we're going to focus on, is the idea of using loops. And we're going to stick to this loop here, the for loop, and it's the for I in range loop. So I'm going to use this loop now to get something to happen over and over and over again. And this is really good because it obviously enables us to repeat code a set number of times while still using a small amount of code. So what we've got here is a for loop, and we're just going to focus on this now. So I want you to just follow along with me. And the basic syntax says for I, and you can change this to anything, it's up to you, but we normally stick with I. For I in range. So what range do we want it to go? And it says number in there, so I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to choose the number 10. So for I in range, and then inside the for loop, we're going to ask it to do something. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it to print I. Okay, so this is all I'm going to do to start with. And if I go to the Python code, you can see it says for I in range 10, print I. Now, I wonder if you can predict what's going to happen if I run this code now. We should be able to see that it prints, okay, it prints down the side, doesn't it? It prints from 1 down to 9, okay? So if I remove go back to here now. Now what I'm going to do is, let's just put speech marks around the I. And if I run the code now, let's see what happens. We can see it prints the letter I 10 times. Okay, so it starts at 0 and it counts up 10 times. So it will end at sort of technically on number 9, but it does print 10 times. So that's a really basic for loop. And we can get this to produce a number of bits of code. So I'm going to get it to say print hello world 10 times. Okay, if I run this now. Oh, no, it hasn't done that, and that's, well, silly of me. That's because I haven't put it in speech marks. There we go. If I run this now, here we go, it's printed it. Okay, so we've got a for loop set up, and we're going to now just have a go at a few other things with a for loop. Now let's get it to, I'm going to get a for loop to count from 0 to 50, like so. So I've said from 0 to 50, and I'm going to get it to print and go up in 2s. Okay, so I'm going to get it to print, and I want my math, and I'm going to say I plus 2. And let's see what happens if we run this code now. Okay, we can see it goes up at it. Oh, it hasn't gone up in 2s, has it? It starts that, but then it doesn't. It just goes up in 1. So let's see if we can change this now. So what we need to do here, these are our two sort of parameters. These are on the edge of our limits. So we're going to count from 0 to 50. Now all it's doing is it starts with that and it adds up by 2, doesn't it? So it will print 2, then 3, but I is technically 1 is 2 less. So instead what I'm going to do is put another comma here. And this will hopefully get to count up in 2s. So if I run this code now, it will print 0 to 50, but it counts up in 2s. Perfect. Likewise, you could go 100 down to 0, but it prints, it goes in sort of down 5 each time. So let's see if this works. I'm just going to get to print I. There we go. It counts down by 5 from 100 down to 0. Okay, and it's gone down in 5s because I said from 100 to 0 and I want it to go down in 5s. You can do this with quite a lot as well. You can do this with words and all sorts. Okay, so it's really up to you how you design your for loops. Let's have a look at another couple of examples. Now let's imagine we don't know how many times the loop's going to run. So we're going to actually ask someone, and this is going to link to one of your tasks later on. We don't know how many times we want the loop to run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the, let's create a new variable, and let's call it times. And I'm going to get someone to tell me how many times they want to run a loop. So it's going to be, because I'm using this, I need it to be an integer. So I'm going to say, how many times do you want the loop to run? I need to make sure I've got my speech marks. And I'm then going to say for I in range times. And then I'm going to get it to say print. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another. No, in fact, I'll leave it like. Oh no, I will do it. I'll get them to ask them their name as well. How many times do you want the loop to? I don't know. I'm going to change that in there. Sorry, year 10s. Sorry, year 9s. I mean for changing. But if I can change this and it makes sense. How many times do you want the program to say your name? Okay. Now I'm going to get this to ask them for their name. Okay, so I need the input again. And in fact, I'm just going to switch these around so that goes on top and that looks better. So, what is your name? How many times do you want the program to say your name? Okay, there we go. I think I've managed to get 2 speech marks in there. Don't actually need to type in the speech marks and input. Okay. Then I wanted to say, hello, my name, and it's going to say however many times I choose. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, something we've done before, is my math, and I'm going to get it to say here, and speech marks, hello, and then name. And then what I wanted to do is actually, do you know what? I want to just have it a pause after each one, otherwise it's going to run. But in fact, if I show you first, so hopefully this will work. Let's see. So, what is your name? My name is Bob. How many times do you want the program to say your name? I want to say my name 50. Okay, and it's run 50 times. Okay, I'm not going to count all of those, but it's run it 50 times. This is because we've said how many times, and it says for I in range times. So look at the variables, look at the pattern. Name is here. But I wanted to do a bit of a delay between each one. So I'm just going to chuck something else in here, year 9s that you can have a look at. Let me just import the time. There we go. Okay, I'm going to get it just to delay now whenever I run this. So in statements, hopefully I can find, oh there it is, time.sleep. Time.sleep will just delay after I do it. So I'm not going to do it for 1 second. I'm going to do it for 0.5 seconds. If I now run this, what is your name? Bob. I'm not sure to say your name. Let's do 20. Okay, there we go. It's going to say hello Bob 20 times. So what we've done here is we've managed to use 2 variables, the name variable and the time variable, and we've used a for loop to get it to repeat the name 20 times with a little pause in between each one. So hopefully you've had a go at these and you have a basic understanding now of how a for loop works in your code.